I actually have received questions like,
Yeah.
should Christians believe the Big Bang?
Yeah.
Is this what creation was, the Big Bang?
Yeah.
Or why, how do I talk to somebody who believes in the Big Bang as a Christian? So kind of this, some people say that like the Big Bang is something that is like, could this explain what Christianity is? And some people are like, well, obviously the Big Bang is at odds with what Christians believe. What are we
Yes.
supposed to do? So we kind of have like both sides of questions about the Big Bang. But specifically, this one is, did God make the Big Bang happen? Like,
Yeah.
let there be light.
Yeah.
I love the way that's worded, but is God behind the Big Bang? How do those two things go together?
Yeah. Okay, I'm not going to answer the question directly at first. I'm going to give you
Okay.
like a 1-minute history of the Big Bang. So,
Perfect. Perfect.
scientists, 1800s, early 1900s, the working model was that the world had always been here because like why not, right? And so that was the current understanding that the universe and the world was infinite, was infinitely old. And then in the early 1900s and in the 90s, several lines of evidence started coming out, and we don't have time to get into what the evidence is. This evidence started coming out that like, hey, the universe is actually expanding. And so if we rewind time, what that implies is that the universe was this like infinitely small, infinitely dense point at some point in our history and has like been expanding outwards. And that's how we get the age of the universe is we figure out like the rate of expansion, rewind it, and we say, okay, the universe must be 14-ish billion years old. And this blew people's minds in the 1910s. That the universe was expanding and that the universe might have had a starting point. And so when this came out, this was actually in support of the Christian way of viewing the world, that like, hey, this has not been around since infinity. There was actually a point of creation. God created. And so Fred Hoyle, who was an astronomer, not a Christian astronomer, but an astronomer at the time, he said, and it was discussed, this Big Bang theory, this reeks of the Christian creation theory. So it was actually this argument like for creationism, that there was a moment of creation. And so I hate that the Big Bang is now often used like anti-Christian. People say like, oh no, like we can explain how the universe was created. It was the Big Bang. And my response to that is always like, is that really an answer? Because how did the Big Bang start? And
Yeah,
like,
it's like a question of origin. Like,
question of origin.
what
Yeah.
started that? Yeah.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
so the Big Bang is our current working model. I say that because the Big Bang is not without questions. Like there are still questions that the Big Bang does not answer. And that goes deep into theoretical physics and whatnot. But it is our best like working model that the universe had some starting point about 14 billion years ago. And so as a Christian, I would say that I believe that God started it. Yeah, God started everything and it has banged outward, you know?
But it's, I was gonna say, it's such kind of like a goofy sounding name, like the Big Bang. Like, do Christians believe in the Big Bang? It's like, well, kind of. If you believe that the universe had an origin, had a start,
Yeah.
and that God is the one who initiated the start of the world, of
Yes.
everything that we know,
Yeah.
then yeah,
Yeah.
like we do believe that. Now, does all of science agree on what that looks like? No, not necessarily. Again, back to our previous thing of like, it's a worthy conversation, even if we land in slightly different places. But they don't at face value contradict each other. They honestly more support each other than contradict
That's
each
such a good way of putting it. That's such a good way of
other. Would
putting
that
it.
be
Yeah.
fair to say? Oh
Yeah.
man. Okay. That's love the history lesson in that too. I think it's really insightful.
The first time I learned about that, I was like mind blown.
That even the agnostic is like, you know what this kind of feels like?
Yeah.
What those Christians have been saying
Yeah.
how the world came to be. This
That there
reeks
was
of the Christian God. Yeah,
that
wild.
there was a start. Yeah.
Wild. I love that.